You want Prada, we make that stitch. They want fashion, cut soda fabric, blood soak the masses. Can't make sense. So cut. They go nuts for my dough, nuts. I see the stars fly all around the globe. For the year, I work my little fingers to the bone. He like ballin', and I like eating. For 8 cents, you wear my sneakers. I heard you slept on the ground for 'em. Well, I slept on the ground often, flossing. You ain't forced me, you ain't Disney, you ain't Walmart. This ain't no guilt trip if you can afford it. You ain't make me no orphan, they don't pay us no royalty. We volunteer for the tears. You ballin', my manager barking, sweat running down my forehead, threats coming down from corporate. You want Jordans, we make that shit. You want Prada, we make that stitch. You want diamonds, we dig that ditch. Everything covered in our handprints. You want Jordans, we make that shit. You want Prada, we make that stitch. You want diamonds, we dig that ditch. Everything covered in little handprints. So what am I supposed to think? You love the things I'm forced to bleed. I can't read, but I seen a TV once. And hey, you want it? Oh, you was covered in diamonds. All of you smiling. Get back to work, yells one of the tyrants. How is a rock worth more than a child? I lost one, they cut my hand off for lying. I heard a rumor that they told y'all just what they do to us. Even called them blood diamonds. Yo, why would you wanna wear something so violent? Whatever god you love is a prick. Fuck you, fuck your chain, fuck your watch. I hope more planes crash and kill your whole country. You make me sick. You want Jordans, we make that shit. You want Prada, we make that stitch. You want diamonds, we dig that ditch. Everything covered in our handprints. You want Jordans, we make that shit. You want Prada, we make that stitch. You want diamonds, we dig that ditch. Everything covered in little handprints.
All right, welcome everyone to your Friday edition of NFT Live. I'm DJ Savage. I got my co-host up here, Tigbo. We got Woolboy from Nifty Castle, and you just heard my guy Kane Mayfield playing some tunes. Those are fire. How's everyone doing today?
Thank you.
Is that you?
Yeah, you guys do way more show prep than me, and I'm a little intimidated. I'll be honest. There was a list of links. There was study guides. I got a syllabus, which is good. I don't know how many college credits I get for this show, but I'm looking forward to it. And I'll provide my mailing address so my mom can see.
Yo,
She
preparation.
Imagine it's like a correspondence course.
Preparation is the key to a wonderful show, and this one's gonna be a wonderful show, guys. How's your guys' week going?
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. What's up, boy? Go ahead.
I was like, it's going to be a pop quiz for some of these things for me, too. So, all good. We are rolling with it.
Oh, good.
Close, baby.
I planned on bringing the curve a little down. So, that's good. If you're there with me like a little bit higher, then it's like I'm out by myself. It's good.
Let's go, man.
Yeah, can't go without mentioning that opening intro by Kane, man. That was just sick, dude. Like,
yeah.
Every time I hear that, well, first of all, congratulations on the success and all the stuff you've been doing, man. But when I first heard that, it was really sick, man. Well put together. Just everything was really well done.
Well, the funny thing about the song, thank you, by the way. The song is not new. I mean, the song is from 2015. Come on, inside. Come on, buddy. I'm dog sitting. The song's from 2015, and for my album, Return to Rap, which, I left music shortly after my album dropped. My album dropped in the beginning of the year. I did my last show before moving away from Baltimore in September. So my whole music career comes from Baltimore. In fact, this is from my last show. Everyone came and signed it, and it was my second kind of back-to-back sold-out one-man show, which is weird when you think about it. My career was at the top that it's ever been, at the highest I'd ever been, and that's when I left because I'm a contrarian and a fucking idiot. So, but really, what happened? I just wasn't, my heart wasn't there anymore. I'd lost both my parents, the year before, and it was just a weird time. So like, my dad and my good friend died the same day. I was in a weird place, and it helped to the music helped, but how do you continue making songs for people and trying to make people laugh when you're having a hard time doing that yourself? And I think that my engineer, my producer, and the owner of my label, who's all the same person, well, my engineer's a different guy. My producer and the owner of the label, Dwayne, he knew. So, but we made sure to get we hit everything as hard as we could. And Handprints was one of those records that I said, yo, I think this is a really good song. Maybe this should be the single.
Yeah.
And, the beautiful, just to make it NFTs, the beautiful part about it for me, like what made it real is that when I first started, I just celebrated my first year on chain, a few weeks ago. My first NFT I mentioned was called Identity. And, I made another version of it, put the song in there. It was really dope. Oh, look at the art. Hey, buddy. So I celebrated my first year on chain. When I first started, I can't draw. I've never done graphic design. I'm not that kind of artistic. I make raps and I'm funny. That's like the level of my creative expression. So from then to now, I've learned how to make digital art, and I've gotten fairly okay at it. I think Handprints is a good example of me getting fairly okay at it. The pictures look nice, it scans, but I edit the hell out of them. But when I first started, I had Handprints. I had these records, but I couldn't touch them. Kane Mayfield, the rapper, wouldn't work with Kane Mayfield, the graphic designer, because the graphic designer guy sucks. He's brand new. He's fresh off. You don't let an amateur barber cut your hair for prom. I mean, you can't go with that. So, I had to get better, and for the first time, it was like around the end of December, January, and I talked to some good friends of mine, and they were like, friends in the space will give you mad motivation. So it's like, you can do it. You are amazing. And then the idea popped in my head. I just had these little kid faces, and I just wrote it. No one's ever seen this, by the way, but this is my whiteboard. And on this whiteboard, you can't see because I wrote it in yellow because I'm an idiot. It says, use kids' faces for handprints. And then it took me 2 weeks of about 20 hours a day, because I make everything, I do everything in Microsoft Paint. So I don't know how to use Photoshop. So I use Microsoft Paint, and I collage. So those GANs, if you go back to the little kids with the little hats, if you see the four kids standing next to each other, I think it's a little bit higher than that. Yeah, them. Yeah. Those aren't those. Yeah, that's not what you think that is. So the little kids, their turbans aren't turbans. Those are other pieces of other things, like weird things that kind of look like turbans. So I'll just cut them out of whatever GAN they're in, and then I'll put them as a hat. Or the little kid that's in the little slideshow with the goggles and the helmet. His helmet is a headlight from a GAN truck. So I cut that out with Microsoft Paint, and I collided that one with the yellow helmet. I cut his helmet out. Yeah, him right there. And his the little red thing over his face, the goggles, his nose was just chaos, and I couldn't get it right. So I was like, well, maybe he has goggles on. And I found something that looks like the rim of goggles, but it was just a W. So I just took the W, popped it up under the thing, and I just sat there editing. So that's how I made the art. And Handprints was important to me because it was the first time that Kane Mayfield, the visual artist, was good enough to touch some of the special stuff. And I'm not gonna say Handprints is my best song, but it's if we're playing spades, it's Jack of Spades, it's up there. That's a big spade.
It's a good one.
It's refreshing hearing something that isn't I guess directly in the NFT space or crypto space, that isn't just so explicitly about crypto. Something that's yeah.
You can't go full retard. listen, if you're gonna do 18 full fucking straight bars about the Merkle root, all right, it's a weird flex. I'm not listening to that shit. But people do it, and I think that there's a way. I kind of figured this out in the last 7-8 months that I've been working and tinkering on it. There's a way to do crypto rap, but have it not be explicitly this weird subgenre nerdcore. Yeah. There's a way to do crypto rap without just talking to miners and devs. Because who the hell else understands the fucking Merkle tree and like you're rapping about the Merkle word, like your syllables spell out the hash of your last transaction word. Nice, but who gets that? No one cares. It's really weird and super, super specific. But when you say little things, there's one of the joints I have for this project I've come out. It's like, I touch paper, you a paper hand. I get a text, I see you moving them tans, this the Baker Man world, and then it's it. That's it. And the whole thing, that's all you hear. Just one little thing. But that little thing, if you catch it, it means something. If you don't, it just sounds like regular raps.
Yeah.
And that's how many people are really drug dealers? But we have so much. But we have so much drug dealer stuff. Like I'm old, so I argue with old people about shit. So when they go, "Yeah, man, kids, man, they're all drug users," and I was like, "It's about goddamn time." Every one of y'all was Pablo Escobar. Where are the customers? None of them rap. And they go, "Yeah, man, but that's harmful for the kids." You ain't allowed to say that. We listen to Mobb Deep. We can't say that. All of our music was shooting and killing and cutting. So, I still have a gem star right here. So I'm gonna give you now. That's still right here. This is a product of my childhood, right here. This keeps me sane. My girl's like, "You really have to have that out." I'm like, "Yes. Why don't you have one?" What's wrong with you? So I think that to put to the point of crypto rap, yeah, a lot of it's awful. And it's not awful because they're awful people. They're lovely people, most of them. But they're crypto people trying to rap. I'm a rapper trying to crypto. Shit just sounds different.
Absolutely does. Absolutely. It definitely hits different. Definitely hits different. And then it was wonderful listening to it. Thank you for coming on the show today. Speaking of criminals and stuff, that'll take us right into our first topic of today. We have the Department of Justice cracking down on OpenSea for some insider trading over here. I guess I probably didn't think he was going to get as much time as he did. He's getting like 20 years or something for wire fraud and money laundering. But, I guess if I was in that position myself, you see an easy chance to make some money. It'd be kind of hard to say no to that. What do you guys feel about that?
If I understand the surprise for some people, because what he did was nothing compared to the high crimes of piracy that we see on a pretty much daily basis. Like a little bit of front running, a little insider trading. We do pump. I was a stockbroker. Like that's how I started. Like at 18 years old, I was a stockbroker. And I did that to my 20s. Like I lived that world. The cavalier attitude that we even use to say pump and dump. Yo, you can't say that. You can't even think it. The world I'm from, pump and dump is a terrifying concept. That word, it just harbors visions of feds kicking the fucking door of your firm in and just snatching your senior broker, slamming his head against the table. Like bad, real bad. They do pump and dumps on Twitter, like in Twitter Spaces. We know that people want to use us for exit liquidity and all this awful stuff. So in the grand scheme of what actually happens, was it that bad? No. Is it, I think, the government's way of saying, hey, we're going to tax you, right? Because that's ultimately what it is. Do they really want to put upper middle class and affluent white people in jail in America? I don't think so. But, they really want your money because, a lot of y'all niggas ain't paying taxes. And that shit crazy. So they're definitely coming for their tax money. And in order to get you in line for taxes, they're going to threaten you with something worse. So taxes seems like not that bad. But this whole decentralization is a must. Anonymity is a choice. Like, those are easy concepts to kill, especially the no-coiners. And when they start pumping the news with how these, and when they paint crypto people as corporate fat cats and not, freedom-seeking individuals, not of any particular denomination or country, but of the world, when they paint you as corporate fat cats, it makes it hard to feel sorry for you. So if we're all a bunch of rich criminals, then it doesn't matter what they do to us.
Yeah, I think there's also the fact that I think there's a little delay.
Yeah, Kane's mic is doing that.
Oh, my bad.
Kane, I think we get feedback. Yeah. Okay. I feel like there's two things to the story, right? Where he got wire fraud and those different charges because they're trying to. They can't put as far as inside trading because these are not securities, quote unquote. I feel like they're trying to make an example of what happened and kind of put us on, I guess, wake us up being like, hey, this can happen to any of you guys. And obviously Nate didn't do as bad as other people that we've seen in here, where now there's a gray area of what is alpha insider trading. Is you giving out information that's not open to the public inside trading, what we call alpha. So I feel like now we're kind of in this gray area where this almost like put us on notice, like, hey, you guys are not as slick as you think you can. You think that you can't hide these transactions from us. I feel like this is just more put everyone on notice, like, they're getting serious about this. I'm pretty sure that they know there's way bigger scams and pumps that happens every day with influencers and insider trading and all that. We've seen it with Yuga. We've seen it with different projects. I feel like this is a big deal for the space, and the way they did it, they're coming down pretty hard on Nate to make an example out of him. It sucks. I feel like he shouldn't get as much as it is, because everyone could attest that he was probably the best employee that OpenSea had, because if anyone had a complaint or anything on Twitter to him, he'll definitely always respond to you, and you could see him trying to make these fixes and solutions for complaints that the users had. But yeah, unfortunately, he was front running the front page of the NFTs, and yeah, he made a little bit of money, but compared to what these other people are making from insider or alpha, we want to call it, it's minimal. And I feel like right now, like Kane said, he's just kind of being put out as an example and putting everyone else on notice that, hey, wake up, like, this is real, like, you could go to jail for this. You pay your taxes, like Kane said. It's not worth going to jail for, because like I said, they're trying to make this bigger than it is, and eventually somehow correlate NFTs to securities. And if that happens, then this is a whole different ball game. But yeah, it's definitely scary. I think it's awakening for a lot of people, and it goes to show you, like, if you think you're slick, you think you'll be hiding from these people, like, they're gonna track you down. Like, this New York district doesn't fuck around. They're always they're always innovating and leading the way for DOJ. So I think it's definitely a big deal. And people that are taking it lightly, I think they shouldn't be.
I have a question. Well, first of all, can you hear me okay?
Yep, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Little better? Is that a little better?
Yeah,
no
less
echo?
feedback. Sounds nice.
Yeah, I had to use my flux capacitor here. By the way, I have sound effects now. See what I did? I'm stepping it up. Do you think that, and it kind of goes with what you said, do you think that they really care? First of all, NFTs aren't securities. They're really, really not. It's super simple. Yeah. I've had this conversation. The beautiful thing about spending 19 hours on Clubhouse for like months at a time is I've argued every facet of this point with like smarter people than me. And to the point where it's like a video game and I start winning, I know I'm good. Is a Babe Ruth rookie card a security? Then neither is an NFT.
No.
Then neither is an NFT. Is a guitar that was played by Prince or Jimi Hendrix. Is that a security? If I'm a security, so is everything else. And they really don't want that. Also, the easiest correlation is if I'm a security, so is a fucking Basquiat. And nobody wants that. You really don't want to play with them. You don't want to play with fine art. That's how super rich people have been washing their money since it came in treasure form. So they don't want any of that action. And I think that it's just a really good example of how they're going to make a statement. I think they're going to shoot a flare gun in the air. It's an easy target because when it happened, no one felt bad for him. When it happened, everyone was trying to be on the cover of OpenSea. And there's a bunch of people who are mad, who have bullshit projects, who are trying to get on the cover of OpenSea. And because they don't have accountability, they feel like this is the guy, this is the face of the man who's holding me back from my crypto success. So picking him as a target is actually really smart. No one's going to fight for him. But let him come after someone we like.
Yeah, people also went after some of the artists too, and they had no idea. They weren't complete. You know what I mean? Like, they were getting an opportunity. I know several of them. This was like pretty. This was on, and by the way, this was on Clubhouse. Like, this was when Clubhouse was like the primary sort of like. It felt like it was the main I guess gathering place for a lot of these conversations. Still has way better audio than Twitter Spaces and audio options.
Facts.
If you want to, yeah, dude, good God. But yeah, my I guess outlook of it was just like I'm learning more and more of what just moral. I'm thinking to myself, would I do that? I was like, no, I would never do that. Like, it's just in my moral whatever. If I was in that situation, I could never. It's just a personal thing, but the severity of, and also, by the way, like, I don't know. There's still a lot that needs to be shaked out. Like, there are charges, and this is something that's going to last for who knows how long. Like this period of time before a case goes to court and such. So, but there are people, like people are looking at like Zagabond and from Mizuki and like and other people that are doing shifty stuff in the space, and like, okay, like what's going to be happening with these bigger fish that could protect, like, bigger fish in the pond. So I don't know. I'm just curious to see what happens. What is the who are the other targets, I guess you could say. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean,
for sure, some of the people in our space, the bigger names, are definitely shaking a little bit because they don't know what they might be, how they might be intertwined in this, because when you're a big name in the space, people follow your wallets. You have this following, you have this power of, like Kane said, pumping and dumping. And how does that pertain to, the DOJ? Are you seen as someone that's frauding people or leading people the wrong way? So it's definitely interesting. I feel like some people definitely are more worried about that, and I guess being more careful about it. But like you said, this is probably gonna be a long way before we get to some sort of case that's done and Nate is tried and all that stuff. But yeah, it definitely is interesting. I feel like they got those other kids for the rug. I forgot what for the fraud as well. I forgot what project it was that they rugged. So this is not the first time that this is being brought up in a court. But like you said, like people like Zagabond who are known for rugging and stuff like that. I mean, they could definitely be brought up for charges of fraud. But then we get into why fraud. Are we investors in this? Are we are we holding security, stuff like that? So it's like Kane said, it's just a weird gray area that it's really hard to know what's what or what's clear.
I mean,
confusion is better for them.
When some of these banks get away with, stealing trillions of dollars from people, and then they catch like, I know, $1 billion fine or something, that puts it into perspective, because some of these platforms are getting away with some ridiculous stuff. Let's move on to Coinbase over here. We have Coinbase getting hit with some SEC FUD, I guess they called it in the news, but I'm not quite sure if it's actually FUD, because they posted like $430 million loss for Q1, and people started freaking out because they found out that if you hold your crypto on Coinbase and they go bankrupt, you could lose all of that liquidity. So they were responding and saying, we've got $6 billion in the bank and we're not going to go bankrupt anytime soon. But I mean, that's definitely possible.
Is that, I mean, just so I don't think anyone. This news is really like a big revelation to a no coiner or to somebody who just got here, who spent like 25 minutes at YouTube University and thinks they knows what they're doing. No one keeps their money in Coinbase. Not even because of the whole bankruptcy, because that no one cares about that. It's because of the feds. Because you made me KYC. I don't trust you. I don't believe you. I don't think that you. I feel like when they come, you'll turn state's evidence on me. I have, criminals, friends of mine that I grew up with. I love them to death. And I have friends of mine who are squares. And sometimes we're riding in the same car. And you know what? Squares, always honest. Hey, man, is that a gun? And it's like, what? Hey, if we get pulled over, I'm not taking your charge. That's Coinbase. Coinbase is, hey, do you pay tax? You know what? It's none of my business. But if we get pulled over and the feds come in here, I'm giving them everything on you. Every transaction, everything you've ever done, and every wallet that's ever connected to yours. That's who they are. So I don't think that anyone's, first of all, who's holding their money there? Nobody. Second of all, missing earnings, that doesn't matter for a company in this space.
Even if you pull your money off of Coinbase, though, the moment you move it into one of your private wallets, it's tracked right to you. So, if you think the government doesn't know who holds what wallets, you're fooling yourself, because the moment you move it from Coinbase into your personal wallet, that's your wallet, and they're going to attach that to you now. So even if it's on Coinbase or not on Coinbase, the moment you've pulled that money off the exchange into your wallet, they know that's your wallet. So you better be paying your taxes and stuff, because they're coming after a bunch of people. There's been a bunch of reports.
Just to say, Uncle Joe is going to get his money, whether it's from me or Uncle Joe get his money, and God bless him, because what I'll say is, if you're not familiar, and I'm not going to sit here and have a cook crack tutorial, but I'll just say, if you don't know what Monero is and how to use things like that, and if you're uncomfortable with P2P, then yeah, you should probably be paying your fucking taxes. Like you should be doing that. If you're not comfortable jumping into the dark web and shaking hands with the Kremlin, then that shit probably ain't for you. And you know what? It was never for you anyway, and that's okay. That's most people. Most people don't want it free. They don't want freedom. They want diet slavery, and that's okay. Diet slavery is cool. Look at how you can get a burger 24 hours a day and you've never killed a cow. That's awesome. Diet slavery has benefits. But yeah, pay your taxes. However, just so you know, if you're not paying your taxes, you got so many canaries in your coal mine of people, they're going to definitely jackboot before you. Boy, you can just watch. Pay your taxes later.
Yep, Monero came under...
To any government body that may be watching this... Any government body that may be watching the show, I have no affiliation with Kane Mayfield. I don't know how I got here.
These guys asked me to launder their money. I thought that's what we were doing. Then they started putting cameras in my face. I'm like, hey, guys, it's supposed to be money laundering 101. What are we doing?
Listen, the real crime here is Coinbase adding all those shit coins to their trading list or whatever, and having all these, I guess, new people entering the space and buying all these shit coins on their platform. And front running those as well, because you can see insiders buying those tokens 1 or 2 days before they got listed on Coinbase. If you're gonna tell me this is a funny coincidence, then that's bullshit. But yeah, those are the type of crimes that these people should be going after, because these people are getting away with way more money than they even got away with from running a few NFTs. But like we said, he's just being made a example of. But yeah, Coinbase has their hands dirty as well, and it's just as anybody else. And yeah, the whole holding your crypto in Coinbase, I've never done it. All I do in Coinbase is, send my USDC and cash out, and that's about it. I pay my taxes, of course, but that's all I do.
Talking about Coinbase, this weekend FTX passed Coinbase as the second biggest centralized cryptocurrency exchange. So it looks like FTX is making some moves. And at the same time, a bunch of institutional money is moving away from Ethereum, and looks like they're moving over to different platforms like Algorand. So, a bunch of news about, Ethereum out there. They also had some news coming out that they're having some hiccups with their testnet launch. So it was supposed to come out, I think, this month, and they pushed it back to, what was it, August or September, which I think we're all used to.
That was announced like a month ago, I think. They announced that they were pushing it back like when they were having issues like a month ago, I think. And I mean that's just testing. It's like I developed escape rooms for a good period of time, and we would have to push back like opening dates because we would have bugs in our system for our puzzles and games, or something would like go wrong. So it's like an Ethereum network, how many people are relying on it, and also how much is cemented in like the nature of blockchain. Like it's just so unforgivable that everything needs to be right. So I can't imagine how much testing and like what devs are going through to make this stuff work. I'm trying to like be able to empathize and like understand what it takes, because it's got to be crazy.
I mean,
as far as the amount of work.
That's a massive change too, moving from proof of work to proof of stake. I mean, that's massive change.
What did you used to build?
Escape rooms.
Like fuck dungeons, or what are we talking about here? What?
You've never seen those in the mall?
I'm not a judgy guy.
It's like team building.
Good entertainment purposes, like the adventure that you go on.
So there's a group thing. Okay, cool.
It's a group thing.
They have narrative elements to them, and you would progress through the adventure. Yeah.
So you were like Jigsaw.
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool. That's a fun thing I didn't know. Now I learned that. By the way, Coinbase should get wrecked just for backing BitClout. Just for backing BitClout. Coinbase should get wrecked. Also,
oh my god.
Yeah, they back BitClout.
Did they really?
Yes. Yes.
No shot.
Yes. And now BitClout is moving on to business assholes. So just so you know, you will see BitClout again, and it'll be all the flim-flam men and snake oil salesmen and business assholes who want to sell you a master class or hire you for a fake job that's an internship. But to keep it on the thing, as far as ETH, why do we want this? I know why I don't want it, because I'm selfish. Why do we want this ETH, sugar-free ETH? Why do we want that?
I mean, it's reducing the energy used on the chain by 99%. And this is the year 2020. Everyone's super into like green energy. So we're never going to get Ethereum to go mainstream like with the whole public unless it's like green energy, which also moves us over into another topic over here where Mr. Wonderful is starting to do some green Bitcoin mining over in North Dakota. He's raised $100 million already, and then he's going to do like the other 400 million from Canada. So, I mean, there's been a bunch of narratives out there about, you know, mining is dirty and it takes up a bunch of energy, but doesn't necessarily have to be that way. It's going to be all in the state, you know, in the country, I mean, and they're moving, making a big push. When you get big names like Mr. Wonderful behind it, you're going to start to get some real traction. You're going to start seeing some real movement here. So I'm really excited that we're moving to proof of stake, because they're not going to be able to use that narrative of it's using a ton of electricity as a reason why we shouldn't be in crypto. At the same time, all these banks are diving in super, super deep into all the crypto stuff. So I think this is just scare tactics, or ways to, you know, push us out of our money and make you second guess your spending when fiat's getting trashed right now. Like, I'm super comfortable in my crypto bags, even if they're taking big massive hits right now, because I know what's coming. Like, there's a reason all these big banks are jumping in. What's up, Wellboy?
I was curious of what Kane's comfort in the current way of like Ethereum, like compare, like why you might be reluctant of like transitioning.
Oh, simple. The first model is free. Why hasn't Bitcoin gone that way?
Bitcoin's starting to go that way. I mean, if we move on to this topic right here,
counting lightning and all the rest of those things, those aren't Bitcoin.
I mean, New York just passed a bunch of bills where they're saying if you're not, you know, using green energy, you're not even allowed to do any mining in New York, which is why it's nice that Mr. Wonderful's doing that. People. Yeah, I mean, it's just really hard to be in crypto inside New York. That's a brutal state right now.
They're awful. I'm from there. Trust me, they're bad people. But here's the problem with the narrative, right? The problem with the narrative isn't that we need to make this easier to no coiners who are. Let's be clear. Some of them shits is just crazy. They're just crazy, and that's what the whole environmental conversation is nonsense to me. I'm not going to fight them from my own goal line. I'm going to start on the 50, and we're going to see if you can push me back. The problem with crypto mining, right, or just cryptocurrency in general, isn't how bad we are for the environment. It's where you get your energy from. The problem isn't us. The problem is where you get your energy from. If I order pizza from Frank's Pizzeria, and I'm just on the cusp, right, of his delivery zone, and Frank, every time I order a pizza, he sees my address, he gets mad, he goes home and beats his wife. I don't think my love of pasta is contributing to domestic violence. The problem is fucking Frank. The problem is where you get your energy from. You don't want solar windmills. You don't want green energy. When they were offering, hey, fuck it, nuclear. Go with what you go with. You don't want none of that. And when it was proposed to you, what did you say? Not in my backyard. Remember that? Remember when Barack wanted to build all kinds of shit and it was the windmills were bad for the birds? Yeah, but we're bad. Every time you send something on ETH, you're burning oil. No, the fuck I'm not. I'm in my house, B. I ain't doing none of that shit. The problem is where you get your energy and your unhealthy dependence on, let's just say, poisonous energy. Perhaps if where we got our energy from was a little bit cleaner, us being a greedy little Gus and wanting an extra spoonful of energy fava beans wouldn't be such a big deal. And I tell you like this, we don't use more energy than fucking banks. I'm not worse for the environment than BP.
I think that's what it is right there. So I think you're knocking on the
wrong door. And I'm not gonna fight from my own goal line about what's wrong with the energy consumption ain't the problem. The problem is you like drugs. You're addicted to crude oil and you shoot that joint right up in your vein. Had nothing to do with me. You could have been clean years ago. You didn't want to be.
I think the issue is the banks aren't in it yet. And now you're seeing JP Morgan and all these different banks start getting in real deep into crypto. And the moment they're into it, you're going to hear all this FUD die away because they're the ones making the money now. So they're okay with it.
Also,
why don't we wreck them?
Also, just in general, though, let's be clear that there's inefficiencies in the proof of work system, like transaction-wise. So proof of stake is going to make it so that more like gas and everything, like making it so transactions are just, you're not paying as much gas on every single transaction. Like it's not a intuitive or fluid system currently. So adding these like technological, I guess, improvements for the sake of just transactional purposes to make it so that that's more efficient, I think makes more sense. I agree with your points. It's just that I think that it's just a superior system. Like all those things still need to be addressed. Proof of stake is not.
That's my other point.
Yeah, it's not like it's not drawing from nothing, but you know.
Why do people act like gas fees go down the tooth, the mouth hole in the desert from the Return of the Jedi? Gas fees go to people. They go to actual people. People who live in the space as well. Yeah, they're people. They're real people.
Currently,
I mine. I'm currently making like $1.25 right now. It's the lowest Bitcoin mining's been in a hot minute. So let's not say it's going to miners because I'm definitely not getting rich off people spending a ton of money on their transaction fees. And people don't want cheap transaction fees anyways, because you can look at Cyberkongs or any of these projects that are moving to L2s and they tank. People don't want it. They want it on Ethereum. So I don't think gas fees are anything to do with it. That's just a narrative.
Ethereum is always going to be the main highway.
What do you say, Tig?
Yeah. The Ethereum is always going to be king because it's the main highway for all these transactions and all the volume. Yeah. The big volume is in ETH right now. It will probably be for the longest time. I mean, we're getting Arbitrum and all these different chains. Yeah, they're getting a lot of liquidity, but you can't compare to the volume that ETH does on a daily basis. Does this merge will help it? Yeah. But from what I read, the bandwidth is not going to be any that much bigger. Transactions are not like you're still going to be, when the network is busy, it's still going to be busy as shit, you know. So gas still is going to be high for certain things. But would it be slightly better than it is now? Yeah. But I see what Kane's saying, that, you know, the narrative is because of the whole, you know, it's bad for the environment and all that, which I don't agree with either. But, you know, someone said in the comments that energy efficiency is the key to making Ethereum brand surviving. And I agree to a certain extent, but I don't think that's the main thing that's gonna bring mass adoption to Ethereum or anything like that. I think it would be a good selling point that Ethereum is green energy or is mining green energy or anything like that. But I don't think that's gonna lead us to mass adoption because we're wasting less or is worse for the earth or whatever. Go ahead, Kane.
I want to say two things, and then I'm gonna shut up. One, energy efficiency will lead to, but for who? For who? The same people you want us to cater to, right? First of all, this space already bends over backwards for every fucking special interest group you can possibly imagine. There's an NFT project for any cause, everything. We're way better than the rubber ribbon, the rubber bracelet people. We're crushing the motherfuckers with the I just raised $4,000 for little kids so they don't have to pull mica out to get your makeup. You're not energy efficient people. You don't deserve industries and verticals to cater to you. You're hypocrites. If I go in your fucking house, how green are you?
I mean,
so that means you do not get to stand on the pulpit and dictate what we do.
You can just look at plastics and you can see that that's a big joke. I mean, they put that recycle symbol on all the plastic and then they use that exact same symbol and they changed it. So if you see it on plastic now and it's got like a 1 or a 2 in there, all that means is the different types of plastic that it is. And there's like 7 different types of plastics out there and only 2 of them are actually recyclable. And you can only recycle them once or twice. So all this plastic that's going out in the world is murdering everything and they're just letting it happen. Giving them tax breaks.
I'm not hearing that Captain Planet talk from none of y'all unless you live in an Ewok house and then you wouldn't have internet. So you couldn't see this conversation, so you would not be in the chat. So I do not believe you, chat person.
Yeah, shout out to those people that are actually tracking every single day what they're doing with their life and they're doing research and looking into things and they're probably not even connected to the grid in any way, shape, or form because
their carbon footprint is a negative number.
Well, they know what it is too. I think what some projects have done is they do to I guess resolve their carbon footprint from a minting because of all the gas. They go and they do they plant the trees, to offset the carbon footprint from a mint, gas, whatever it costs. I feel like something like that, it's something positive in the light of, gas fees and all that stuff. It does help out a little bit. It's a good cause. I feel like if more projects do that, it wouldn't be such a bad look on the space. But Llama brings up a good point. There's you don't see people lining up protesting energy usage from cloud computing, machine learning, and all that manufacturing and all that stuff. Where's the outrage for that?
Don't go for it.
So I think it's just definitely.
Don't.
Don't
go for it, Tig. Don't let them get you.
It's a big narrative. The crypto's bad, mining is bad, and the whole space is just bad overall. But if you're in the space, it's not as bad as they make it seem. Some projects are trying to do a good thing with positive things like the carbon footprint and all that stuff. But I don't think this is gonna. Yeah.
Look up intent.art. Look what they're doing. Yeah.
These are the same people who want to sell us projects with carbon credits. Like carbon credits is a scam. It's a fucking scam. It's a super scam. It's like the biggest rug of rugs, and they want to make PFPs for it. What happens when a rug makes a baby with another rug? Is we could get a rug. Like, what do you even call that? It's a super hybrid baby of rug. I don't even know. I'm afraid of things like that. That's like the Antichrist of rug, born in an unholy tabernacle of pump and dump. It's supposed to be fucking crazy. But one, I don't think the environmental thing is real. Two, for people who sell, like I sell NFTs. That's all I do. Since last year, I got fired because I crypto too much, and ever since then, I've been just doing this, right? And my girl hates it. My girl hates it. She totally hates it. Totally. She came up to me the other day, and she punches me in the arm, and she goes, "Proof, what's a crypto voxels?" And I'm like, "What do you care?" And she's like, "No, what does that mean?" I was like, "It's a metaverse, the VR space. That's where so and so has this thing." She goes, "I was making the bed, and I just thought the word, ooh, crypto voxels. I shouldn't know these words. Get out of here with that shit." And then she just walked away. And that was great. But point is, I do that all day. So this is all I do. For NFTs, and I do a lot of onboarding. I talk to new people, and they're always, we're doing a Polygon because, why Polygon? Well, the gas fees. Well, gas fees don't stop a transaction, Chief. Huh? No, gas fees don't stop a transaction. They just don't. Something someone wants to buy, they're going to buy it.
Yep.
They're just going to buy it. The gas fees will not stop a transaction. What they will do is work almost like a stopgap against bullshit. Because the reason a lot of bullshit's on Polygon is because they can mint there inexpensively. Every time a new bullshit PFP scam or hack comes out, what's it on? Polygon. Because they're throwing a bunch of pebbles in the ocean trying to see if one of them hits something. They're not. It doesn't make it better.
Shouldn't the market just? Yeah, but that's just a money thing. Like that's just people that have. You could just price something at a certain price point that is unattainable for people that are not willing to. I don't think that requires gas to be a certain way. I mean,
how much is gas really? 30, 40 bucks?
It depends on the contract, dude. Yeah.
Depends on the contract. Yeah. Depends on how busy the network is. Talking about rugs and networks, we had a Solana plummet double digits over here because their network went down, which is saying like they went down for like 4 hours or something like that this weekend. And I think they plummeted.
This looks like a Wordle. This looks like a Wordle.
Yeah, they went down 61% from the time this went down. So Solana's taking a hit right now. I mean, they were up at $260 in November 2021, and now we're down at like what, $40 or something like that. So people don't necessarily want these different chains popping up or doing whatever, because some of these chains are like this one's still in basically testnet or whatever. It's not fully been launched, and they're running into issues.
The fact that a whole entire chain could be shut down for an entire day is just insane to me. Imagine if ETH was shut down for 10 minutes.
People lose their shit.
All hell will break loose. So the fact that even Solana shuts down and people are still like saying it's a superior chain or anything like that because the gas transactions and the speed of transactions and all that, I don't give a shit about that. If I can't access my money because the network is down, I don't want to be in it. You know, when there was a part when I was in AVAX and I had some MIM, you know, and MIM was depegging all stuff, and the protocol I had my MIM in, they shut off access to withdrawing the MIM because it was depegging like crazy. Like I freaked out for that half hour. I freaked out. So I can't imagine being an entire day without being able to access any funds I have in the entire network. But and speaking about rugs and all that stuff, if I mint something on Solana, I don't give a shit that the gas is cheap. I expect it to be a rug. It's just something I feel just comfortable saying. Like if I'm gonna mint something on Solana, I'll be like, it's probably a rug, but you know, it's cheap, so who cares, you know? But yeah, I don't know. The Solana just, I mean, it's VC backed, so that's why it got so high as far as the price action goes. It's down pretty bad. I saw it was under $40 today or something crazy like that. Which is
it'll be back.
It'll be back, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if any of these L2s are not even around in the next 9 months to a year. You know, these AVAXs and Harmony and Solanas. I don't know. Right now, Solana is just VC backed. There's a lot of investors in there, you know, and they got in super cheap. They're eventually gonna dump on all these people. Harmony is the only reason Harmony is good because DeFi Kingdoms made it popular, and you know that's basically all that's in there. AVAX, same thing. A lot of DeFi going on there, but if this merge happens with ETH and all that stuff, you know, and I would love to get your thoughts on this. But like when ETH merge happens and it does speed up gas, it does lower gas fees, speed up transactions and all that, I don't see a need where we're gonna be needing other chains like AVAX and all these.
I feel like Tigbo's flooding my bags right now. I got a bunch of layer ones. I'm sitting in Solana. I'm sitting in AVAX. I'm sitting in all these coins that you're just shitting on over here. So I'll be the one person to say I have faith.
Listen, I have bags too, but I got out early, dude. When I saw the market the way it was, I sold my bags, my AVAX, my Harmony. Harmony's going to zero. I said that shit like 2 weeks ago.
I've got a bunch of Harmony. Nope, not going to happen.
Harmony's going to zero, okay? If it's not a zero already, I think it was like at 18 cents or some shit last time I looked at it.
I think this is a great point to shout out our space in New York. We're gonna have for 4 days presented by Web3. Harmony is presenting our space in New York City for 4 days, so we're collaborating with them.
I like Harmony. The space is so new. I think saying any of these chains are gonna die is just way too soon, because the banks aren't even in yet. The banks are getting in now, which means we are super early, guys. Super early. We're all gonna make it. It's gonna be fine.
I just wanna give a shout out to Harmony for sponsoring NFT Castle and possibly Hot Doug's co-sponsorship for NFT NYC. Shout out to y'all. But yeah, Harmony's down bad right now.
Love it,
Watching all these chains with all their different volatility can definitely start to mess with your mental health. How are you guys doing with this over here at the mental health? They're starting to categorize like crypto and like chasing these big gains. They're starting to call it like a new disease. It says here, like if you're a day trader, you're constantly looking at price fluctuations. I mean, it's another form of gambling, they're saying, and they're calling us crypto addicts. So you can see they're really starting to FUD our entire industry, saying it's giving us muscle tension, anxiety. I mean, that's part of like money, isn't it? Isn't that just part of having money? It doesn't matter where your money is. Like I have the same type of issues when JP Morgan's handling my money, because I mean, these guys have been so dirty. Like if I'm going to lose money, I'd rather lose it on a bad investment that I'm doing rather than having, you know, my stockbroker or my, you know, my bank accountant start opening up a bunch of like bank accounts that I didn't set up. That was a big scandal with Wells Fargo. They're still around. I mean, what did they pay for their fines and stuff? They made billions, if not trillions, and they caught a couple $1 million fines. So, I mean, if I'm going to lose my money and Harmony goes to zero and I lose everything there and Tigbo was right, so be it. At least I lost it myself and the banks didn't just straight rob me of it. I'm not feeling that. That's the shit that's giving me anxiety.
The thing that's giving me anxiety is like these free mints that are happening every 15 minutes now. And it's just a constant wave of free mints. And it's just half of them are just stolen art or derivatives of other shit because there's nothing original anymore. That's what's more exhausting than anything else. But go ahead, Kane. I want to hear your take.
Well, for the first part, yeah, y'all gonna get anxiety. You're not supposed to be a fucking stock. How many of y'all think you really have the temperament to be a stockbroker?
I mean, I don't trade.
Not at all.
I mean, I sit and hold, which might be the issue, because Tigbo got out of Harmony. I've been sitting on that for a minute. I'm a holder because I believe in the space and where it's going. So I'm not trading shit.
Listen. The fact that the Harmony people are going to pull up on you is pretty much written in stone. There's nothing anyone can do to stop it. I was going to offer you help, but you doubled down, and I'm not fighting them. So, like, shouts to Harmony because, frankly, I think Harmony's to the moon. I don't know what this guy's talking about. And if someone talks like that, maybe you guys need to come out in full force on him. But yeah, the people made money, and some of these people are the proverbial fat kid hitting a half-court shot. Bored Ape was a great example of that. You think everyone knew? Word? Did you know? Did they really know? I even have friends of mine who try to gaslight me with revisionist history. Oh, no, I knew. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You didn't know, or you would have sold your car. You'd sell your house, sell blood. You'd be down at the sperm bank, rubbing one out for some extra cha-ching, so you could double, triple, fifth, quadruple down. No one knew. And what happened is some people hit these half-court shots. Someone who just happened to be holding 80,000 ETH from 3-4 years ago. Just happened to have it. They got it when it was 80 cents or whatever, 90 cents, 50 cents. They just happened to, spill into a little bit of it with their Bitcoin money. And it became like a I'm right mentality. So now they're looking for the next big idea, and they're way over leveraged. They don't take profits. The whole hodl, silly to me. I understand the concept of buy and hold, but holding in the face, like I knew you said you had time, right? Were you in Wonderland?
Yeah.
It's okay, Tig. I understand. I was in Wonderland too. Come here, brother. Yeah. Come here. Hit the camera. Sorry, brother. I feel you. It's all right. Hey, in my heart, I'll buy you a drink. Because we were both in Wonderland. That is a dick that got served to both of us, and it was horrible. and I bought the ceiling, the roof, nigga. I bought the airspace above the shit. I bought the top. That shit was the top of the roller coaster that I rode straight to hell, and it still hurts. You still holding it though?
Kane got in at 10K.
Talking
12.
about
Crazy. 10.
Talking about people that got
money for 10.
There's some people that got
but
wrecked.
still holding it.
The news came out that there was a bunch of Terra, and that there was like at least 50 people that knew before the chain went down, and there was a whistleblower that came out. So we're gonna see probably some more shit come out about this, because it seems like there was all these different validators that knew Terra was gonna flop and go down, and they had this big long conversation and someone blew the whistle on them. So this whole drama from like Terra and whatnot, that's not over yet. And that stuff will give you a bunch of like anxiety and stress too.
That dude's that guy is the worst. Dude.
The worst, man. Especially if he knew. It looks like he knew, and he told him to turn the validators back on, because one of the people like turned off their validator, and he said that's not how you do it, and said turn it back on. And they've got it in like official documents. So this guy's done. Like, he's so in trouble. And then you're getting people like Binance that are pulling it off their platform. Like, it's not looking good.
Trading places? Turn the machines back on!
Yeah, because people don't know yet. So we need to have some of our big investors pull out all their money so they don't get wrecked and they dump it on people like us. So, I hope they get what's coming to them.
Bro. We have to pick a side.
Straight to jail.
Yeah, straight to jail.
Nah, man. Nah. Look, you got to pick a side. The reason that people have a problem with this. No. I'm not side. I'm just saying pick a side in terms of, look, the reason that people, they point at it for the banks and the mainstream establishment of Babylon. They'll point at the foibles and the rugs and the things that we do, and they'll say, look, see? What they're really saying is they're just like us. Because that means we're just like them. We can't purposely trade in unregulated assets and then cry foul when unregulated shit happens. You just can't. This is a byproduct of people. First of all, I knew Terra was garbage, and I'm stupid. I'm an idiot. I bought Wonderland at the top. I bought the wrong cats. I am not a pinnacle of intellectualism. I make terrible decisions and often don't look before leaping. But I'm willing to gamble with what I throw on the table. I think people consider these sound investments and don't think that, oh, no. You're rolling dice. How much research have you done? Well, I mean, obviously, the hype is all. Think of the kind of people we talk to on a daily basis. When you ask them if they've done their research, and they say, yeah, because the hype is there. That's a real thing. Y'all have heard it.
Who can do all the research, though? I mean, I sit around and study this stuff all day, and there's just so many different chains and so much different stuff out there. I mean, especially with like Terra, because they were posting some like insane gains, just like kind of Tron is doing right now with this another algorithmic stablecoin. That might be the next one to go. I'm still holding on to my Tron bag because I got in really cheap, but I mean, is what it is. I know Tigbo's got
I feel like there was the writing was on the wall, because if you follow a lot of crypto Twitter, none of them were in Anchor because they knew it was bullshit. Those returns were too good to be true. A lot of normies got into Anchor because they saw that 20%, 18% return on their stable coins, and they thought the name stable coin meant it couldn't go down or it couldn't go to zero. So a lot of them got wrecked. But a lot of people who've been here for a while, who've been in DeFi, been doing this for a minute, they knew that shit was too good to be true, and they've been calling out Duquan for a while now, saying that his algorithm stablecoin was bullshit, and this could happen. And he knew it could happen. So the fact that it did happen, this dude, wrecked a lot of fucking people. And the fact that he's just walking around freely, I mean, I don't know if he is, but that dude is about to do 25 years in jail for learning a few NFTs. It's just insane to me if you want to compare those two.
Insane, especially if you look at some of the punishments that they've doled out to other people. There's people in jail for doing less for rape and stuff. I say that crime is way worse than a dude trying to make a little extra buck. I mean, he could have been high and just not even thought about it and was like, oh, look, I know this is going to make some money, and did that. Did you think he ever thought he was going to get like 20 or 40 years? That's crazy. Why don't you give JP Morgan that make trillions of dollars off of us, give them 40 years or shut their shit down, break them up. Like, some of these banks are out of control. And then you get this poor dude gonna get slapped super, super hard. That punishment was crazy. Crazy.
You know why?
Put me on the jury.
No one
I'll
really
say not
believes
guilty.
But nobody really believes those things that they say. Community, GM, wag me. People don't really mean that. That's a really easy thing to say when we're making money. But you got to remember who comprises the space. Yeah, there's some pure artists. There's also a ton of entitled motherfuckers. We met them. Y'all all met them. You've met some crazy narcissists in this space. Me, I you know what it is? I do hot takes and I talk spicy, but I spend most of my day helping people. So when they come for me, my people go, oh, no, you can't touch him. Because I give and I help people, and that's all I want to do. I took professionally. I was a stockbroker. I sold fucking timeshare. I'm a bad person. That's why I can know another bad person. I smell him like a wolf in the dark. They like it that he went down. I remember they were like, yeah, canceled. I said, yo, y'all don't even know the kind of fire you playing with. Yeah, no. That motherfucker was a criminal. Criminal?
I mean,
right?
This space is brutal, period.
Cha-ching.
I mean,
but he was
look
making just a little cha-ching.
Look at when Seth Green lost his Bored Ape and lost $500,000. You didn't see anyone saying, oh, you know, that sucks for him. They were saying, you know, NFTs suck and sucks to be you. Like, I don't care who you are, celebrity or not, losing $500,000 is brutal. I mean, that is brutal. I feel for the guy. I mean, getting robbed always sucks. Doesn't matter who you are.
He was trying to make some gutter. He was trying to mint some gutter clones.
Is that what it was?
The worst part. He was trying to mint some fake gutter clones. I'm like, bro, what are you
brutal.
doing?
Remember to use a minting wallet, guys. If you're starting to do some of these free mints, put some ETH in a separate wallet that you don't care if you lose everything inside of it. Put very little crypto in there if you're going to connect to any of these free mints. Like, don't be using your main wallet. If you have anything in there you care about, don't connect it to a free mint. You'll watch some of these free mints sell out, and then you'll go in like LADZ and you'll see Hash reporting that, yo, they're sold out, and it's a wallet drainer. And there went 10,000 people's wallets and everything inside of it. So be careful.
It just happened yesterday. Some doodle, some shit. You know, if you minted it on the actual website, it was just sending approvals, and I think some other deeds got taken. Some howlers, for some weird fucking reason, they were taking parallel cards. ENS names got fucking stolen. And you know, that's why you gotta be careful, because you know it's a free mint. You're rushing to get it because it's free. You know, it sells out in a few minutes, but you're not even thinking about, you know, what are you doing. So everything that we send in the show is not financial advice. We're not financial advisors. But the only thing we can suggest to you is please use an alternate wallet for minting, because this shit will get you wrecked and will get you robbed.
Yeah, and if you think you're okay losing everything in your wallet, go ahead and connect it. But if you have like a single NFT in there or any like crypto, don't connect to any of these free mints, because you don't know what's going on. Unless you know how to read a contract and you actually sat down and read the entire contract before you did the free mint, don't do it, guys. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Stay safe out there.
Do me a favor. Just if you're first of all, Savage, would you like a Quijibo?
A who?
Quijibo. I'm gonna give you a Quijibo. You want one?
No idea what that means, so I'm gonna say no.
But no, but it's it's the hottest thing out. Quijibo. You don't want one?
No idea what that is. I do too much crypto, I guess.
Let me give you a Quijibo. Come on. Listen, just let me give you a Quijibo. Let me give it to you.
You
don't like the way this feels, do you? Why are y'all even... I look at some of the things people do, and I'm knocking things down because I get passionate. You want a free mint. Why? For what? For what?
For profit margins, Kane.
Chasing those gains.
Do you? If it was really of value, why would I give it to you for free?
Hey, I mean, look, those stupid goblins minted free.
Weed man.
Like 7 ETH or something now. I can't buy art I don't like, though.
What's pumping those up? Well, what's pumping those up?
Alpha groups. Market manipulation. So I'm not playing there.
Cool. That's what it is. It's people really running the old 52 fake out there. They're going to hit you with the sham god, and they're going to drain it. It's a slow rug. Now, if you can get in there and make some money in a slow rug, that's fine. That's cool. Whatever. I'm not here to judge. I'm saying the rest of y'all out there, you're a civilian. you think you're missing out on shit. Let me just help you for all of you who think you're missing something and you got to get in line for free cheese and free apes and whatever the fuck you think you're going to get. I could have bought an ape. I could have bought 2 apes. One for $900, one for $1,200. Offered to me and told me this is a good price. And I said, no, I'm good. I didn't have $900 to spend on a cartoon monkey. And I don't feel bad about it because I would have sold it because my hands are made of rice paper. I don't fucking care. I would have sold it at $3,000. I wouldn't have cared. The point I'm making to you is you're in line for these things that won't be Bored Ape. You're waiting for this magical moment of something you don't even like because you think it's going to pump you up into this. It's fucking, you're out of your mind. You're connecting your wallet willy-nilly. You're a reckless link clicker. You're definitely going down. You're going to get smashed because you're just, because you're nosy. Curiosity kills cats and small children. And some of y'all are both. You need to fucking stop that shit.
If you listen to some of these people, I guess we're all crypto addicts over here. Crypto addicts. We're getting close to or past our 1 hour mark. I think Tigbo said he probably had to shut down probably 7 minutes ago. So
yeah, we're
check in with
good.
Tigbo.
I just want to touch on one last thing before we move to the last subject. Everyone's chasing goblins right now because goblins were at the right time and the right whatever the fuck they did, you know. So now everyone's chasing that. It was a free mint that went up to 890, whatever it was, and they spent hours on spaces making goblin noises, and everyone ate it up. And then everyone bought in, and everyone pumped it up. So now everyone's chasing that, and I get it because everyone's chasing those gains. But you have to be smart about it as well because, like Kane said, you know, everyone is out here to get you. This is not WAGMI. This is not GM. This is PvP. Now, if you don't know what PvP is, then you need to you need to wake up because it's player versus player. So all 4 of us here on this screen are out for the same thing, and we're going to be chasing to get it. You know, some of us have better morality, the way we do things. But when you're going against thousands of other strangers for a free mint, and you're wondering, you don't have time to read the contract, you don't know what you're doing, you know, you're bound to get wrecked. You know, because the person giving out these for free are not out to make a community. They're not out to give you a roadmap. They're out to make secondary sales and steal your fucking ETH, you know? So just be careful when you're doing these things. Just make a secondary wallet. Throw a little bit of ETH in there, nothing crazy, and just go ham on free mints if you want. But just be smart about it while you're doing it. That's my take.
Yeah. Agree to get your got.
Absolutely. It will. On our final piece of news here, before we go ahead and shut this one down, we'll end on some happiness. If you're sitting out there on some crypto, Chipotle will now accept your crypto so you can buy those delicious burritos. So we're not all doom and gloom over here. Seems like some of the fast food chains are rolling into taking crypto. I personally would probably never spend crypto on fast food. That's an investment. I'm hoping it goes up. I'm not going to spend my ETH buying some burritos, but
I mean, it depends though, because the cost, it depends. I think the thing is with cryptocurrency, like our goal is we would love to make it more fluid for us to be able to use it, right? Like the more opportunities that we have to be able to use it in our daily lives is great. That's something that I genuinely hope for. I think that this is really interesting. I'm genuinely curious if it's like, it would have to be the same, like how much Ethereum would it cost to buy a burrito? Like what is it, like 0.00, like it's gotta be, you know.
Oh, they gotta be doing it on like a side chain or whatever, like a layer 2. I mean, there's no way they're actually processing those transactions. You have to use Gemini to do it, so I'm sure they're all like getting processed on Gemini and they're gonna settle it later, or you know, something like that.
This is all happening probably off chain for sure because the gas fees would just be way too much. So yeah, if it's being processed through Gemini and all that stuff, then yeah, I could definitely see that happening. I love burritos. I love Chipotle. So I don't want to hear no Chipotle FUD on the chat. But I can see why this is cool because like Woolboy said, you know, eventually this is something what if you're a true believer in crypto in the space, this is something you want to see more often because you don't want to be able to spend your money or your crypto in, you know, casual in real life things. I don't know if you want to spend them burritos, but you know, certain things where you can just go somewhere, pay for it with crypto, and be out. I think it's definitely cool. But yeah, I don't know if I want to spend Bitcoin.
Or no?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, it does.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I would just ask yourself, Why do they want it?
I mean, they're just trying to get us all used to spending money digitally, so when they roll out their CBDC, hopefully through Pump Elgarand, that they're going to have everyone spending their money that way. Like, there's no way that this is actually going to stay up like this. The United States government's going to push out a CBDC, and everyone will be tracked doing everything. So we should be pushing for real crypto, and not this crap.
The Kenza on the chat says, 2022 Chipotle burrito will be the next Bitcoin pizza.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I wouldn't spend my real crypto like Bitcoin or Ethereum on any food products. Sounds crazy to me.
Give me that burrito token, baby.
Why would you want to trade it?
And I'm not using Chipotle anyways. I know you guys got some real Mexican spots over by you. Why are you eating trash? Chipotle. Come on, go find a real restaurant.
Yeah, I agree.
You can't eat Chipotle.
It's convenient. Listen, it's convenient, right?
It's
convenient. I don't want to hear no Chipotle.
There's big old lines every time I try to go to Chipotle, where I can go down the block to the mom and pop Mexican shop. Delicious. Wait a minute. No lines.
Wait a minute. You can't slander the fine humans of Chipotle.
I did.
Because they have big lines and then still jump in for a free mint. You can't get a free mint and bash Chipotle.
And I'm not taking Chipotle.
You have to pick a side, sir.
No free mints and no Chipotle. Go eat something
I live
authentic.
in a food desert. I lived in Mexico for 3 years, and they got mad when I told them I missed Taco Bell. They were like, "No, Kane, you don't like that." Yes, I do.
No.
It's not, why isn't this burrito supreme? There's nothing supreme about the burrito you just gave me. I like my burritos with supremacy, white supremacy.
I think the correlation.
Are you talking about sour cream? Is that sour cream?
Yes, nigga. Yo, the Tex-Mex shit, they ruined. How would you take a perfect fucking burrito and ruin it by slathering shit on it? That's ridiculous. You put a nice round wheel, so you want to put corners on it? You do that too? It's crazy. When I was a kid, I thought Mexicans was geniuses.
A real taco, all it is a tortilla, which is chicken or meat, and some lemon and some salt, or lime, whatever. That's all it is. That's a real taco.
Nigga, you ever seen real pizza? You ever seen like Italian pizza? It sucks mad dick. Ew. Who wants that? It's gross. It's just garlic bread with fucking like pesto and oil on it. It's not real.
I think
no one wants that. They're not bringing that to your house.
I think the correlation of Taco Bell buyers with free minters is pretty high because people love that shit.
Listen, don't you? First of all, Taco Bell and I have a long-standing relationship that goes back before anything in this world. I remember when they had olives in the burritos. It was delicious.
Gross.
And it smelled weird in there.
Gross.
I don't know what the smell was, but it smelled weird, and I just know that it was a great Taco Bell smell, and it was delicious. Also, I don't need authentic food. I am not a white person from Middle America, so I do not need the authentic Mexican experience.
It just tastes better.
I want a taco, and I want it delicious. It doesn't taste better. It tastes better because y'all don't use seasonings on a regular basis. I do. Hey, my cupboard is full of them.
I don't cook anything.
So, see? That's what I'm telling you.
I don't cook anything. Let the experts do it.
When we're in New York for NFT NYC, I'm going to take you out of the Bronx. We're going to get a chopped cheese, and we're going to take the subway there. Authentic experience. I may also Uber away secretly and leave you out there. But we're going to definitely go up there to West Farm condominiums or Soundview townhouses. We're going to go up there and have a nice time. It's going to be great. You're going to see my friend Fat Joseph.
Can't wait for the Kane rug. We're going to get the Kane rug in NYC.
Yeah, but it's an activity rug. It's an activity rug. It's more of a liquidity pool. So it's like, hey, where's Kane? It's going to be fun. I'm having a good time.
It's a learning
experience. I almost don't want to go.
That's the real life utility that Kane's providing for us.
All right. Yeah, well, we're a little bit.
Just to say, it was really fun talking to you guys, man.
Yeah, it was super fun talking to everybody. Yeah. Hope to see you guys in LADZ City. We're going to say our vibe, our tribe. And we're going to play us out to some more Kane. Let's go, guys.
Why did you record? Why did you record?
That is not what I thought it was. We should be on this one. Here we go.
That was pornography. I know pornography when I hear it.
It definitely wasn't. All right, let's go, guys.
Why'd you record that? I heard that.
Peace.
Happy LADZ Day, everybody.
You want Prada, we make that stitch. They want fashion, cut soda fabric, blood soak the masses. Can't make sense. So cut. They go nuts for my dough, nuts. I see the stars fly all around the globe for the gear. I work my little fingers to the bone. He like ballin' and I like eating. For 8 cents you wear my sneakers. I heard you slept on the ground for 'em. Well, I slept on the ground often, flossing. You ain't forced me, you ain't Disney, you ain't Walmart. This ain't no guilt trip if you can afford it. You ain't make me no orphan, they don't pay us no royalty. We volunteer for the tears. You ballin', my manager barking, sweat running down my forehead, threats coming down from corporate. You want Jordans, we make that shit. You want Prada, we make that stitch. You want diamonds, we dig that ditch. Everything covered in our handprints. You want Jordans, we make that shit. You want Prada, we make that stitch. You want diamonds, we dig that ditch. Everything covered in little handprints. So what am I supposed to think? You love the things I'm forced to bleed. I can't read, but I seen a TV once. And hey, you want it? Oh, you was covered in diamonds. All of you smiling. Get back to work, yells one of the tyrants. How is a rock worth more than a child? I lost one, they cut my hand off for lying. I heard a rumor that they told y'all just what they do to us. Even called them blood diamonds. Yo, why would you wanna wear something so violent? Whatever god you love is a prick. Fuck you, fuck your chain, fuck your watch. I hope more planes crash and kill your whole country. You make me sick. You want Jordans, we make that shit. You want Prada, we make that stitch. You want diamonds, we dig that.